Jim Byers, Rodney Nelson. We're here to analyze the 8-race card tonight, and we're in front of the curtain because the weather, as Carl Reeves and I were discussing a little while ago, is suboptimal.
Yeah, certainly not ideal, and
no.
Complete opposite from yesterday at this time, right?
Yeah.
Sunny and sweating yesterday, and today it's rainy and fairly comfortable out here right now.
Yeah, it is storming pretty bad. We'll be on an off track of some sort, muddy or sloppy. We're off the turf. We've got 8 races to discuss. Let's get things going here. And we start right out tonight with a Texas-bred maiden special weight race for fillies. These are 2 years old. Now, these are all first-time starters, and you throw in the slop on top of it, it makes these races even weirder to predict, but overwhelming favorite in the very early wagering, Divining Humor. And I see you're going to try to beat her, though.
Yeah, I'm going to try to beat her with the number 1, Bring on the Bubbly. If you look at the morning line odds, 2-1, 3-1, it's 50% better at 3-1 than 2-1, right? If my math is correct. But breaking it down and getting into some more math here, what I like about the number 1 as a trainer, Miguel Silva, if you look at his stats for first-time starters, he's a 27% winner out of 30 runners, so not a very small sample size, a pretty good judge there. And then if you look at 2-year-olds, he's a 21% winner, and 42 2-year-olds having run this year. I think Bring on the Bubbly, this horse could run very well tonight. Of course, on a dry, fast track, I like the horse even better. But all these first-timers, we're going to see which one of these horses like the mud today. Could be that one, could be the 2, or it could be one of the other ones in here as well. Don't really know. Let's roll the dice on these 2-year-olds, but I'm taking that horse on the inside rail for the high-percentage 2-year-old and first-time starter trainer.
Yeah, I've got him. I've got her second. I took Divining Humor. The works are pretty good. There isn't a whole lot else to go by in here. I think Shake Those Dice, the number 3, might be pretty quick based on the works that we have seen. J.R. Caldwell tends to work his horses a quarter of a mile. He does well with them. It doesn't generally give you a real good idea of how they're going to go when they start going 4.5 or 5, but obviously they're doing more than just working them a quarter mile. But I went ahead and took the favorite here. I didn't realize she'd be quite that short a price, and she probably won't be at the off time, but I'm going 2-1-3. On to the second race. Scratch the 1, Sunlit Song. This race off the turf. It'll be a mile on the what is now officially a sloppy track. Also scratch the 3 and the 6. These are $40,000 optional claimers, non-winners of 2 other than since January 1st, or $40,000 claiming tag.
Yeah, so I'm on number 7, Tut's Revenge here in race number 2. This horse had a pretty good year at Oaklawn. Ran in the stakes race last time, finished 4th of 7 in that one. Race before that, a pretty good one up there as well. Ran second in that race, missing just by half a length. Now, in those 2 most recent races, the horse had some trouble in both of those. I'm going to stretch out and go around 2 terms on the turf. This horse has 22 different starts on the turf, 7 wins. Now we're on the main track. If you look at how this horse has done on the off track, out of 7 starts, 4 of those being wins in a couple seconds as well. So 6 out of 7 on the off track. This horse has finished in the exacta. Tut's Revenge has a lot of experience. David Cabrera, the jockey, is named on this one. I think that even with the off track, going to the main track, I think number 7 is the one to beat here in race number 2.
Yeah, he's going to be really tough. I went ahead. I had him second initially behind Sunlit Song when it was a turf race. And I've still got him second. I'm bringing in Holden the Loot. I assume Holden the Loot will be in the race. It'll be his first start at Lone Star, but he seems to like an off track. First start in from California. And I don't mean to yell, but it's very hard to hear what we're saying. So if it sounds like I'm shouting, that's the problem. But I'm going to go with Holden the Loot. The Beyer figs are consistent. The numbers seem pretty consistent. Limited experience on an off track, but I'm going to go with him. On to the third. $5,000 claimers. These are all older horses. It was written for 3-year-olds and up. A mile the distance. Scratch the 5 Binding.
Yeah, so I landed on Big Power Red. That's the number 4 here in race number 3. The horse was a winner 2 starts back. That came right out here at Lone Star Park at this 1 mile distance. That was a $5,000 condition claimer. Went back in the next race in open claiming race for $5,000. Ran 4th in that one. Was in tight around the turn, so didn't have the best trip at all in that race. But the horse does have a win out here at Lone Star. Like I said, 2 starts back. Is back in tonight for this $5,000 tag. This horse has run 5 times on the off track, has a second and a third. Big Power Red. This one could come in tonight at some pretty decent odds. I got the 7 is one I like to talk about, looking high. This is one of those Robertino Diodoro horses that we see come from Oaklawn here to Lone Star after their season ends. A lot of them run very well. This horse does have a win on the off track as well, out of 12 starts. So has finished in the money in 5 of those 12 on the off track. We'll see what happens. Looking high. I was trying to beat the horse. That's why I'm going with Big Power Red. I like 6-1 better than 9-5, but let's see what Looking High can do as well.
Yeah, I've got him second as well. He was decent at Oaklawn this year. He's almost the definition of camera shy. He's 4 wins and 63 starts. But he's 1 for 8 on a wet track. So take that for what it's worth. I'm going to try to beat him as well. I like Hot Stove League. He's 1 for 2 on an off track. And his turf racing really muddies Hot Stoves League's record. I mean, he's 0 for 11 on the turf. He's been very good at the mile distance. He's good on a dry fast track, but he has a win and a second on a wet track as well. So I'm going to give a shot to Hot Stove League, Ray Ashford. Hope I can get 9-2 when all is said and done. On to the 4th. 4th race, 4.5 furlongs. These are Texas-bred maiden special weight fillies, 2-year-olds. Scratch the 3, High Caliber Catch. The 6, Take My Picture, and the 7, Where Dreams Begin. That leaves us with a 4-horse field. There'll be Win, Exacta, and Pick 5 wagering only on the 4th. Carryover of $485.
So much like that other 2-year-old race that we had earlier in the card, I kind of went the same way. Same owner, same trainer. That's Miguel Silva. High percentage trainer on both 2-year-olds and first-time starters. I've got the number 1. Was 10-1 on the morning line. 3 scratches out. Not going to be anything close to that now. I was looking forward to cashing a ticket on this horse at 10-1. We'll see what happens now. But I took his other horse as second. That's the number 4, Crescent's Little Charm. So he's got 2 of the 4 runners left out here. I think that's a pretty good percentage for him to get up and take the victory. So I got it 1 and 4 here in race number 4.
I'm going chalky again here in this 4th race with Y Texas Y. I think I will refrain from speculating what they're getting at by naming that horse that. I think it's best to stay away from that territory. But nonetheless, this horse brought $12,000 at the 2-year-old in training sale last month. The work for Broberg last time out, 5/8 and 101 flat breezing out of the gate, was second best out of 10. Broberg has done pretty well with first-timers. He unveiled that horse last week that was just, he was the most impressive. Was it Magic Michael or something like that? Or
I don't remember.
Whatever. Was the best 2-year-old winner we've had here since Tango Mis Papeles, I believe.
I remember Tango Mis Papeles.
Yeah.
But stakes winner out here. One of the TTA stakes.
But Relo Gutierrez was the jockey. But nonetheless, Y Texas Y, second full from this mare, Gaga Over You. Gaga Over You was a really nice filly that won 10 races. She was a non-stakes winner, but she raced all over the country and was mainly a turfer. But I think Y Texas Y can come and win first time out and will probably be favored to do so. 5th race, we have a scratch, and it's kind of a big one. The 4, My Golden Bling, is out of this one. So we're going to go with just 3 picks up here. I've got the 6-2-1. Rodney's got the 6-1-7 as we both moved Carpe Horseshoe into the top spot. Really liked the sloppy track at Oaklawn in late February.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the main reason this horse got picked by me, was back in February. Was a winner on a sloppy track up there at Oaklawn. Last race that this horse ran in, came out here on May the 7th, ran a good second in that race. Shakalaka, who was the 11, who I was hoping this horse would have gone into this race.
Yeah, he's out. Shakalaka, he scratched before we came off the turf.
Before it started raining, I think,
And scratched the 4 and scratched the 3 in this $10,000 filly claimer.
Yeah, so that's why I went with Carpe Horseshoe. Beat Shakalaka, the one I liked if it moved to the main track, since that one scratched out. Carpe Horseshoe, I think, is the one to beat here. I mean, this horse put together back-to-back wins at Oaklawn Park earlier this year. Had a pretty good run at Woodbine last fall. Good race out here last time this horse stepped foot on the racetrack. I think Carpe Horseshoe could be the one to beat here in race number 5 now.
Yeah, I mean, her race here on May 7th was pretty good. She was a voided claim at Oaklawn on March 5th. Oaklawn had a lot of voided claims this year because of the HISA rules down there, and you could get a voided claim for a whole lot of different reasons. The slightest bit of lameness or soreness, and you could throw a shoe, you can do all sorts of things that can cause a claim to be voided. But, boy, she came back after a little break, 2 months, and ran really well here. And she figures really well on the main track. Race 5, originally scheduled for the turf, 5/8 of a mile on the main track for $10,000 filly claimers. On to the 6th. All older fillies and mares in this one. $5,000 is the price tag. No scratches at this point here, and they're going 5.5.
So I'll take the horse on the inside rail. Number 1, Kelly Said Ready. This is a horse that we saw out here back on the 22nd of April in a non-winners of 3 race for $62.50. Totally destroyed him. I mean, led him from gate to wire. Ended up winning that race by 6.5. A very nice win for Kelly Said Ready last time out. Horse does have a couple wins from 5 outs out here at Lone Star Park. 3 wins at the 5.5 furlong distance as well. I think there's a lot to like about the number 1, Kelly Said Ready here. Now, if you're looking for a long shot, Shell Game, number 6, that's going to be my long shot play today. I mean, horse has won 2 out of the last 3. Has had a lot of on-the-board finishes dating back to Zia last year. We've seen some of these horses come in from New Mexico and run well out here. We'll see if Shell Game does well in her first start out here at Lone Star Park. But if you're looking for one at a little bit of a price, I think 12-1 on Shell Game is not a bad way to go.
Yeah. While you were talking, I was looking once again. I briefly looked at the wet track records before I came down because we didn't have that much time to prepare as this storm blew in not long before the show started. Tay-Tay's Baby, who I didn't use in the picks, the 8, has 2 seconds in 2 wet track tries, including only beating a nose at Houston in April. So you might look at her as we basically handicap these for a dry track when, you know, we don't realize that Tropical Storm Rodney is going to come blowing in here unexpectedly. But I went with the 2, Cost an Arm and a Leg. Was really, really game last time. Won a race by a nose here on May 5th. Third start of the meet. Coming in hot. Broberg's good with the winning right back once they get going. I think it's clear that this filly hates Oaklawn. I mean, she ran 2 horrendous races there, but the rest of them are pretty good. So Cost an Arm and a Leg for me in race 6. 7th race. Scratch the 4, Diamond Gal, and the 9, I Am Up. Filly maiden special weights here, going 5.5 panels.
Excuse me. So number 10, Accelerate Judy, is going to be my top choice here in race number 7. You know, the horse has only had 1 start that came back toward the beginning of our meet. That came at this 5.5 furlong distance. Horse had a pretty good run in that one. Ended up second, made up some ground toward the end, closed strong in that race. I think number 10, Accelerate Judy, could be one to watch here in race number 7. Number 8, Perfect Wish, is another one that you got to take a look at. I mean, this horse was running in some big races at Fairgrounds and Oaklawn, some of those big maiden special weights that they have. Coming here to Lone Star for the first time into this maiden, it's got to be an easier spot than those other races this horse has been in. Fired off a nice workout on the 12th of May. A bullet back on the 17th of April at Evangeline. 3 of 32, like I said, on the 12th of May, right out here on our track. I think Perfect Wish could be set up for good things today. But give me Accelerate Judy. I'll take the second-time starter after a nice run in her debut.
Yeah, that's That could be a nice pick. I didn't use Accelerate Judy in here. I did take the favorite, Perfect Wish. Don't absolutely love her. 3-year-old taking on older, but the one thing about her race on April 22nd, I was there yesterday. The winner of that race was a debuting filly, 14-1, so a surprise winner. The runner-up, Flying Bessie, is a well-bred Asmussen runner that's 0 for 7. So, those maiden special fields there and at Fairgrounds are tough, but I don't think that one was necessarily the toughest they have to offer. Still in all, Perfect Wish, if she can handle the off-track, and she has a good Tomlinson number in the Daily Racing Form PPs, indicating from her breeding she might like the off-going. I'm going to go ahead and take her over Cousin Christie, the firster. She doesn't have the world's greatest wet track number, but her dam was a New York bred who was a minor stakes winner who earned almost $500,000. Eighth and final, off the turf, 1 mile and a 16th on the main track. And as of now, I have not been told of any scratches out of the 8th. It might be a little early for that. I assume Get Wit Gone will get in off the also eligible list. I went ahead and am taking him on top.
All right, so you've got the main track horse. I kind of wish I would have put that horse in my picks, but I went with number 4, More Victory.
That was my pick. More Victory was my pick when it was on the turf.
And you know what? Because that win 3 starts back was on the turf, right, at this distance. Looked good in an allowance race. Since then, the horse, ran back a couple times since that victory. Didn't do too hot in either of them. I mean, the 1-2 starts back I can kind of give an excuse for. That was a $100,000 stakes race. Was well beaten in that one. Finished 9 of 9, beaten by almost 40 lengths. So kind of folded it in that day. Most recent race, this horse showed some speed when they broke out of the gate. Ended up getting, just well back in the pack when it was all said and done. Finished 6 of 8. But before that, if you can look at this horse has done before, this horse does have 2 lifetime victories. 3/3, so 5 out of 10 this horse has been able to hit the board in his career. So we'll see if More Victory can't do something like that again today.
Yeah, I went ahead and dropped him all the way down to 4th in my picks, only because his performances, last time at least, on a sloppy surface at Houston left something to be desired. But I went ahead and went with Get Wit Gone here. Earned a nice main track number last time, a 72 buyer, actually. I got claimed by Gustafson. First time Gustafson here. Ran a nice race the time before. Off track, has only been on 1 off track, and that was a track rated good at Houston in January, so that could have been a track that was just an absolute slight beat away from being fast. And I'm going to go ahead and take him, though, even with the outside post. Cinco Richie, good contender here. Nice second last time out. Has never been on an off track. I had him second originally, and I'm going to keep him second. The one I'm curious to see run is Plain Tapwater. Stretches out for the first time. Tries a wet track for the first time. But the Tomlinson number, next to the word wet in the past performances in the Daily Racing Form, indicates that he might really like the off track. So I'm going to take him third on the stretch out. I will say, since we've been talking about the 8th race, the rain has subsided. So it's still raining, but it has subsided. I can now hear myself think.
Yeah, we can hear each other now.
Yeah. So that's an advantage. So hopefully we can get a window here. Track will be sloppy. We're off the turf. 8 races. Advanced wagering available on tomorrow's Preakness. Tomorrow is the Preakness. We'll open early at 10:30. The gates here to the building tomorrow. All the Preakness Day wagering available. Plus, you can watch and wager on the Preakness. It'll be between the 9th and 10th races on our card, so we'll have a little pause. So, should be an interesting Saturday. It's Mage against, 6 others now, I guess.
6 others now, I think so. It's going to be fun. I don't have Mage, so we'll see.
No, you don't.
Not a Mage fan. He did win the Kentucky Derby,
yeah.
Right? But if Forte would have been there, he would have beat him. So,
I think so. It's an odd Preakness, but we can still root for Red Route 1 for Asmussen if you root for a local angle, I guess. All right. Well, that's it. It is the top of the hour. We've got 34 minutes to post for the first Rodney, good luck tonight. You had a good night last night. I need to get things going, so good luck tonight.
All right, let's do it.
Thanks for looking in. R.I.P. to Jim Brown, the NFL great, acting great, who passed away, and good luck to the Dallas Stars, who begin their third-round Western Conference Final Series tonight for our non-horse racing references on the show tonight. All right, thanks a lot for watching, and good luck.